Lahontan Gold is a company in Nevada, gold and silver in the Walker Lane, best jurisdiction in the world. It's a fantastic story. We've had a very successful year this last year. It was 1,200% growth, and we're continuing to grow quite quickly. We have a good shareholder base. 52% of our shareholders are institution and insiders. We're trading about 22 to 25 cents. We have very good volume, so if you like being in stocks with liquidity, this is a really good one to be in. This year is all about getting our permits to go back into production, and that's what we're doing. Our board has been everly evolving into a mine-building company. We have two engineers on the file, Shane and Evan Potier, and then more capital market savvy on the other Max and Josh. Where we are in the Walker Lane, Santa Fe mine was a past producer in 88 to 94, open pit, heap leach. They left a lot on the table, as you can imagine. Gold and silver, metal prices were terrible, 350 gold, and it shut down just because of that, and they got bought out, and the rest is history there. But what they did leave behind is millions and millions of ounces, a lot of oxide and sulfides, high-grade sulfides underneath our pits, and right now we're focused on mining the oxides next year. West Santa Fe is going to be a satellite operation for the company. It's 13 clicks away. It's a look-alike, so low-cost ounces that we'll begin baseline studies permitting for in about 6 months. So a great bolt-on asset. Moho is a high-grade golden vein system. We're the only company that's drilled it, 25 grams gold up to 300 silver, multiple vein system. So a very exciting portfolio, and of course the Walker Lane, Nevada is the best place to be, in my opinion. We're unique in that we have infrastructure. We have 3 wells, all the water rights, year-round road access. We have a substation on our property, which I think is quite unique. It was put in back in the day when they were building the mine. So when we look at the permitting, we try not to reinvent the wheel. We put things in the same places where they were before so we can make the permitting process quicker. Here's our land package at Santa Fe. It continues to grow, 28.6 square kilometers. Santa Fe, Slab, Calvada, and York, those are the historic pits on the property. You can see all those blobs around. It's just more mineralization, and we continue to grow our ounces. All our drilling to date has been focused in this area, so we're adding more ounces for the mine life that we'll be building next year. We have good grade, 0.93 gold EQ. Here's what it looks like in ground. This is a Santa Fe pit. This is the largest pit on the property, still only 90 meters deep. All that beautiful oxide left behind for us to play with. The little chart in the corner, 0.64 is the gold component of this. You notice there's no water in the bottom. We're well above the water table. So it checks a lot of boxes. Also, you can see the 50-degree pit walls. I would say right here that that's a very competent rock, and I don't think we need an engineer to do that for us. So, infrastructure. You see there's no people. There's nothing that grows here. There's no First Nations from the past because simply there was no water to be found. That being said, when it was in production, they did drill 3 wells. We have all the water rights, and we are happily enjoying looking at them and making sure they don't need to be rehabbed. You see in the front of the picture the Slab Calvada complex. These are smaller pits, of course. They are left behind because they were mined at the end of mine life. There's virtually no strip over here. So, it's shovel ready. When we look at the economics of this project, our payback is 18 months. So, pretty exciting. So we put out a PEA last year, and it feels like it was about 10 years ago because it was done at 1950 gold pit shells, and it's so out of date. But you can see here it still looks quite nice. Low strip ratio, project wide of 1.6. CapEx is very manageable at 135 million. That's got a 20% contingency, 8-year mine life, low cost, all-in sustaining of $1,200. So, and this is done at 12,500 tons per day. So you can imagine we run these numbers on a monthly basis with the gold price and silver prices that we have, just pulling our pit shells down to economics that we see now, you can obviously manage that we're picking up a lot of more gold and silver mineralization, which has made us go back to the table and start thinking about, well, we have historic heap leach pads there. How much is left behind there that's already crushed? So the consequence of that giggle factor, as we like to call it, is that we're bringing out a sonic rig to investigate that, because the cutoff grade back in the day was 0.54, and we know our great friends with Florida Canyon is much, much lower than that, making a lot of money. So we're very excited to get a rig out there and look at that, because it's just going to add more years to our mine life at very, very low cost. So the drilling we've been doing recently is super exciting. You see in this picture the black line. That is the pits that we report in that PEA I was just showing you. So all the drilling we've been doing since then is dragging these pit shells down to much deeper zones, and you can see that we're just hitting these thick, beautiful zones. So we just added a few more holes in December. We're still getting the results out. We'll be putting some out actually this week, but really it's just adding more mine life. Another example, the York pit, the shell is very small, that black line. Now you can see the red line of where it's going, so super exciting. We pulled this acquisition off last year. It was really holding us back in the York area because we didn't have these claims. We just didn't want to explore over here till we could get this acquisition done. So we got that done, and the results that we're getting out of the York pit has become quite exciting, and we think this pit's going to add a lot more ounces than we ever anticipated. So we've been doing 2 permits in parallel. Plan of operation, exploration permit. We got that approved finally last November, December. We worked on it for 2.5 years. That's basically sterilized the whole land package that you see in yellow in order for us to be able to drill, expand, etc. But more importantly, our mine permit is in the exact same footprint. So all the baseline studies they make us do, looking for raptors and pygmy rats and you name it, it's all in the same space, and the mine permit is no different. We put it in the same exact footprint, so we don't have to go back to the table on that, so it saves us a lot of time. Also, it's within 650 acres of disturbance, which allows us to do an EA-style permit versus EIS, which saves us a year and millions of dollars of time. And people ask me all the time, is there exploration upside? Well, of course there is. We could have chosen to just drill and see how big it is and sell it off. I'm a businesswoman at heart, and I really love cash flow, so we've chosen to drill in and around the pit so we can get in production as soon as possible. All those lovely stars is my geo's dream sheet, and now that we have the permit to drill it, we're going to be drilling at March, April. This is just a layout of where the heap leach pads and everything else is going to go for the mine. You can see the rusty color heap leach that's outside of our baseline studies we have, so that will be the second phase, but that's 3 to 5 years down the road. We just started that as well, so we're already going on to the mine expansion. West Santa Fe we picked up a couple years ago. It's a beautiful project. It's a look-alike, with the exception that it was mined in the 30s for silver, so there's adits all over the property for silver, which means it was very high grade. It's only 13 clicks across from Santa Fe, so again, very low cost style operation. This is our historic drilling to date. Oxide all starts at the surface. We just put 8 holes in here in December to do some twinning and to verify this information. And we'll get those results back in the next couple weeks. But what we really believe is that it's going to have a lot of silver in this system. It's a little bit higher gold grade than what we have over at Santa Fe. And as soon as we verify that, I'm going straight to baseline studies, because we know it's going to take 2 years, and then it will come online, adding ounces to our mine 2 years into production. This is what it looks like in the box. It looks pretty exciting, but again, I haven't seen the results yet. So last year was really big. We were up 1,200%, but that's just the beginning of the story. This year's a very big year for us. Continuous drilling throughout the year with 3 rigs. We're going to put out a new resource estimate within the next 12 weeks. And then we move on to another PEA, and I'll be raising about $120 million to build this in September, given that the permitting gods work all in our favor. Again, people ask me all the time, how are you going to to raise the money for this, well, we'll be doing a lot of debt. I used to work for a debt fund. I'm very keenly aware how to do that. And we'll take as much as possible because it's less dilutive to our shareholders. So it's a very exciting year. We, again, are on the TSXV, LG, and we're also on the OTC, LG SXF. Thank you.